What's up, guys, and welcome back to SCUM. Now, as you can see, we are still back here at the airfield. We are going to finish this up today. We're going to hit these Quonset buildings first, and then head over. We're probably not going to do the terminal there, but we will hit the control tower over there. There's some security lockers in there, and then the other hangar and whatever other Quonset buildings and um, garages there might be. Also, I switched over to the little baby AK. So we're going to give it a try, see how it does. So I guess I can't remember if I had that, if I'd switched over to that in the last episode or not. It's been several days since I recorded the last episode, so I'm not even sure what all I did last time. You guys are sitting here watching it going, yeah, you already did this, or you already explained this, or yada, yada, yada. And so it's all just redundant to you guys, possibly. But for me, it's a whole new experience. So, ooh, I will take those. We can sell it, I guess. I don't really care for like the stun grenades and smoke grenades. Hello? Nobody home? Okay. Now, I will say something weird happened when I logged in. All of my settings were changed. All the server settings. For whatever reason, it carried over the server settings that we have on the multiplayer server instead of my single player. Which, I mean, they're not that different, but they are slightly different. They're different enough that I noticed something was just off. You know, so I've kind of put stuff back more or less to how I normally have it here for single player. And again, it's pretty much the same thing. There's just a few settings that are a little bit different. Um, like for the multiplayer server, we typically have NPC numbers maxed out, just because there's several people on the multiplayer server. Whereas here in single player, I usually just leave it set at default. But you know what? I just left it set at maximum like we have it on the multiplayer server. So we'll see how that goes. If I get murdered by a squad of 25 NPCs, then, hey, that is what it is. It'll make things interesting, won't it? I've asked before, I think, but what do you guys... pilot hat. What do you guys think of the current loot settings? How much warmth does that give? 3. I like my hat. Also, I'm very surprised that I've not seen any puppets. Not complaining, just surprised. Because right now I have loot set to double. Because I noticed on default, there's not a lot of loot. I mean, heck, even set to double. We're not finding a whole lot, you know? Hello? I swear I heard footsteps, like the awkward, um, kind of shuffly footsteps that puppets make. Swear I just heard that. Or maybe I'm just being paranoid. That's entirely possible, and in a situation like this, being paranoid is probably a good thing. That's money right there. I personally don't like those helmets. I won't use them. Actually, I personally just don't particularly like any of the helmets. Um, but that's just personal preference. I found the NPCs don't really go for headshots, they go for center mass. So a helmet doesn't really do you any good unless you're crouching or going prone to where center mass then means they're essentially aiming at your head. Come on. No. There we go. Having some issues with lag just a little bit. Ooh. Oh, yes, please. Good smartphone battery. I can't remember if matches were a quest item or not. Fine, we'll take the 22s. Do you guys want to see me do like a 22 run? You know, just run both 22s. You know, the Hunter 85 rifle and the was it the Kruger 22 pistol? We could do that. We could do an episode of just 22s and see how that goes. You know, I don't want to complain about lack of puppets and lack of NPCs and whatnot, because then you guys know what'll happen. I'll complain about there not being any, and then a bunch of them show up, and uh, I get dead very quickly. That being said, just running around looting things with no danger at all is probably kind of boring for you guys to watch, huh? Ooh, camouflage jacket. I don't think I have one of those. I don't really need one, but not gonna hurt to have just extra, more civilian type clothing. Because me personally, I like the civilian clothing. We're wearing all of this stuff because we found a bunch of winter camo stuff up there in the snow when we were living up there. Technically, our base is still up there. We have not yet moved. Really? Is there anybody here? Huh. Well, alrighty then, I guess. Sorry, this is probably really boring for you guys. Sure, we'll take that, I guess. Now, what kind of gameplay do you guys like? You know, me personally, I like I'm a casual gamer. You guys know I like exploring, just kind of living in the world. Um, the combat is always fun. I don't 22 tracers. You know, the combat is definitely fun. I enjoy the combat. But I'm also fine when there's not combat. I really do enjoy just being able to go around and explore things. Ooh. Oh, dang. Almost a full stack of that. Can you fit in there? No. Drat. Well, you can fit over there then. And we'll go dump you in the truck here in a minute. But you guys know that I don't really do PvP. You know, we got single player here, and that's... You know, you got the NPCs here, but I'm not an aggressive player at all when it comes to PvP type scenarios. So I'm definitely much more kind of hang back and try and let them come to me from a somewhat defensible position, or even if it's not a defensible position, just somewhere where I can draw them to me rather than me being the aggressor and going forward into their territory. Really? Well, hopefully as we get further along, we'll find some more company, because this is not particularly exciting. But I mean, also, as far as combat and stuff goes, that's kind of a big part of the game, is having some kind of combat, even if it's either just puppets or just the armed NPCs. You know, I like wandering around the map with the guns and stuff like that. It's fun, you know. It's just it. I like the overall. Ooh, can we fit that? Yeah. I like the overall just feel of it. You know. But if there's no reason to actually use the weapons, then it's like, well, there's no point in looting any of these military areas, because it's like, well, I don't need, you know, I don't need the weapons, I don't need the ammo, you know, any of that stuff. You know, if there's no danger, then the only thing you need any of that stuff for is hunting. And technically you could do all of that with a bow, or even potentially like the improvised weapons. But I don't know. I like having a reason to actually, you know, come to a lot of these places. So I'm hoping that right now we're just not seeing puppets and NPCs just because I just spawned in. And so it just didn't spawn them in near me. You know, that's what I'm hoping for. We'll see. Why is the bike making noise like it's moving slightly? I think the bike might be haunted. What do you guys think? Do you think it's haunted? I think it's probably haunted. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any more empty backpacks. Even have any space in here? Oh yeah, we got tons of space there. And I can make more chests too. We've got... Oh, I think we have all the stuff for making more chests. Do we have an empty backpack anywhere at all? No. Of course not. Why would we? That would just be handy. Well, poop. Oh, I'm not even sure if we have room in here for all of this stuff. But I guess we're fixing to find out, huh? Actually, that can go... Hey. Put my glasses back on, please. Thank you. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see. Sorry, I do actually have a system of organization in here. I do. So for those of you that are curious... Oh, damn it. That bugs me because that's a horrible way to do your inventory here. Why did it... Wait a minute. Can you go? You can't go sideways. No. Fair enough. Fair. Thank you. There we go. Beautiful. That's much gooder. Much more spit. No, it's not. Anywho, sorry, you guys don't really care about seeing this. I'm sure, but oh, poop. Well, drat. Okay, everything just goes in the chest then. In the chest, in the chest, in the chest. Let's see. These quest items. Yay. I wish that you could label the backpacks. You can't label the backpacks. You can label the chests, but not backpacks. Anywho, onward. Let's go. Let's see if we can find some excitement. Now, I asked about gameplay. I know a couple of you had mentioned a good while back potentially doing something where we just like max out the NPC numbers and remove all the puppets to where it's just like society collapsed as opposed to like zombie apocalypse type thing. Now, technically the lore for SCUM is, you know, we're on the island and this is all for entertainment value. We're on a game show where we're being forced to do all of this stuff. But they never really did anything with that. So I kind of just ignore that lore most of the time. But the only thing that lore does is it explains why loot respawns, you know? Because since we're on a game show, the loot respawns because the corporation that owns this island and manages this event restocks the loot so that things stay interesting for the viewers. Hello? If we end up not seeing a single puppet or NPC this entire time, I'm going to be very confused and a little frustrated. Ooh. Huh. Okay. Ooh, we're quite high on calories. Oh, we're extremely low on... okay, eat all of those then. Vitamins, they're low calorie, but high in vitamins. Imagine that. Okay, I don't care about anything down here on the ground floor, I don't think. I'm pretty sure there's not security lockers on the ground floor. Okay, I don't remember where all there might be. Ooh, toolbox. Yes, I need that. I don't remember where all there might be security lockers. We could also find a yellow screwdriver. Oh, well, there's a security locker right there. Would you look at that with your eyes? Any good stuff? Some bullets. I'll take those. Okay, I don't remember exactly how many of these lockers there are, but... Ooh. I know. Take the gloves off. Ooh, we'll take that. The right helmet. I don't know the right helmets. I don't remember what they sell for. Probably not really enough to be worth the space that they take up, but, you know. But, as far as, ooh, pepper seeds. Okay, yeah, we'll take those. But as far as, you know, like, gameplay styles. Would you guys want to see something like that, where we turn off the puppets or something? And, you know, bump up the, you know, max out the NPCs. I don't know what the NPCs will do in terms of numbers if there are no puppets. You know, because the way the encounter manager works is it tries to balance the number of NPCs and puppets and animals and that kind of thing. But if you take out the puppets, which are the primary thing that the encounter manager deals with more than anything else, then I don't know how that will affect other things. You know, I don't know if it will actually allow more NPCs to spawn per encounter, or what it'll do. You know, if it does allow more NPCs to spawn, then that could be interesting. Even if it's not, like, more NPCs per, you know, in that particular squad, but just more NPCs in general. I know I heard a footstep there. Or maybe not. Thought I did. Anywho. But I have thought about trying that, because it does sound like an interesting concept, and I like, you know, scenarios like that. You know, just societal collapse. God, I don't, the Deagle magazines, no, no. Magazines don't really sell worth a darn. The weapon itself, it's in decent condition, so it might be worth selling. But I don't know. Like I say, I may have to just kind of fiddle with that and see what it does. To see if that's even a feasible idea. Because if it just ends up being, hey, the world is pretty much just empty until you know, you'll still run into NPCs, you know, in their usual places, but that's not going to actually allow more of them to spawn. You know, then it's not really worth doing, is it? Military boots. I mean, we don't need them, and they take up a lot of space. hey, here we go. You know what? Well, see, I'm not really noticing the lockpicking being more difficult with gloves on. So I don't know if that's actually a thing. Hey, we have another AK. I can disassemble one of them and use that to repair the other one. Oh, oh, and a drum for the AK. And an AK-15. Oh, well, poop. I do like the AK-15. It's so much easier to mount optics to. I like the way it looks. It's got decent iron sights, if memory serves. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. Not anything to write home about, I suppose. Slightly better than the stock AK. But, again, very easy to mount optics to. If only you could use the drum magazine on it. The lack of drum magazine compatibility is the primary reason that I don't use the AK-15. But I still really like it. And so now that we have one, maybe we try running it. Ooh, Pop-Tarts. Yes, please. Ooh, what are you? Airplane repair kit. Those sell pretty good if memory serves. And our backpack is almost full again. So I would say, I guess, when I asked about loot earlier, loot is probably good. Even have, yeah, we got a little bit more room. Just got to make sure I don't drop my rifle. Actually, even if we do lose this one, I'm not going to be too heartbroken about it. We check you? Yeah. Wait a minute. How? Um, ah. I was like, how the hell did we get over here? I would really, really, really like to see them add an M1A or an M14. Either way, they're pretty much the same weapon. The M14 has its select fire, so you can do full auto or semi-auto. The M1A is just semi-auto. Ooh, might there be more lockers? But it's for those of you that don't know, it's well, it's basically the M1. The hell are you, Rider helmet? Oh God, no, that's horrendous. It's basically the M1 that we have here, you know, in SCUM, the M1 Garand. But rechambered for 308 instead of 30-06, and uses a 20-round box magazine like the Scar. So it's basically if you combined the Scar with, I can't remember if we have a pilot jacket or not. I don't have room for a pilot jacket. I would like it doesn't matter. Are there two pilot jackets? It sure looks like there's two. There's a pilot jacket, there's a pilot jacket. Why does it only show one pilot jacket? I don't know. Now it shows 2 pilots. Ooh, yes, lead plate, thank you. But it's basically if you combine the SCAR DMR with the M1. That's pretty much exactly what it could. Lord, there's a lot of pilot jackets. Maybe that's telling us to take a freaking pilot jacket. I don't know. Ooh, another airplane repair kit. Ooh, that one's better condition. There we go. Now we'll take the full one. I don't need it for actually using. Well, that's nice. They made it to where you don't have to crawl through that anymore. You used to have to crawl through that, if memory serves. So that's nice that you don't have to do that anymore. Is there really not going to be any puppets or anything here? I'm hoping that we run into something. Hell, a squad of NPCs in the hangar over there would be great, honestly. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Did I? No. Okay, there's my AK. Hey, there we go. Okay, see, we got something now. It's about frickin' time. Starting to get a little concerned there. Okay, so there are at least puppets here. Have there always been military crates up here? I don't remember there being military crates up here. There's nothing in them, but there's military crates up here. Climb the ladder. There we go. Well, neither one of these up here was in great condition. One of these down here was pretty good. Yeah, that one right there. Okay, damn it. Freaking thing. I'm gonna end up losing that AK if we put something in here. Man, this is a horrible use of inventory space, isn't it? You there, you over here. I want to be able to grab one of these pilot jackets. But... There. Haha, you're perfect. Okay, now back to the truck. Can I just jump out here without breaking my legs? Okay, yes. Now the truck's on the other side of the building. That's okay. We can just cut through here. Shortcut. Well, good. I'm glad that we're at least seeing puppets over yonder. Means we should start encountering somebody, anywho. Just put. Oh. Well, that's not good. The chest is. Okay, the chest is well and truly full. Alrighty then, I guess all of this just goes loose in the Rager for the time being then. Yeah, I know, I'll organize the inventory later, I don't care. Right now, we're just trying to do this so that you guys don't have to sit here and watch me sort inventory. Because that's rather boring for you guys, and this has already been a boring enough episode. Anybody home? Now, I do wish that the NPCs would spawn in further away. I'm not sure if there's a setting for adjusting how far they will spawn. Because you can kind of set it for puppets. But I'm not sure if you can for NPCs. But I would really like to be able to. Because what I want is for the NPCs to be able to spawn a good ways off. You know, like as soon as you enter a POI, the NPCs spawn in somewhere. You know, that way you could kind of scout the area. And maybe pick them off from a long ways away with a good rifle. You know, that's something that I really enjoy doing. Is just long range reconnaissance and trying to clear an area from a distance before going in. But the way the encounter manager works for SCUM, you can't really do that a lot of the time. You know, just well, both puppets and NPCs just they don't spawn in far enough away a lot of the time, and that really sucks. Ooh, a tourniquet. Yeah, those are really crappy matches. Here's the thing, since they added the survival knife, I don't really care about the matches and the lighters and stuff like that. Unless I can use them for quest items. Ooh. You know what? I actually don't really care for the headlamps too much anymore. I used to really like them. When they first introduced them, I loved the headlamps. You know what? I like that just because it looks like a civilian hat. You know, it does. I like it. But I liked the headlamp because it gave you a way to see without having to have, you know, a weapon light or, you know, holding a flashlight in your hands. It gave you a nice hands-free way to see things. But here on single player, I don't really do anything in the dark. You know, when it becomes nighttime, we hunker down somewhere and sleep. And yeah, I know there's no actual sleep function in SCUM, but in single player, I can quote unquote sleep and then use admin commands to change the time so that it's daytime. You know, ooh, hey, there's some good money right there. And I'm really not sure why that's not just a thing for single player. You know, for multiplayer, obviously, you couldn't do that because, oh, one person goes to sleep and then the time changes for everybody. You know, it doesn't work. But for single player, why is there not an actual sleep option? Man, I like those gas lanterns. The problem is, we now have the gas lanterns. Actually, what do we need for the gas lanterns? Like the hanging gas lanterns. Yeah, that. What do we need for that? Oh, you need a gas can for that? Why can't you just use one of these and just hang that from the ceiling? That would be the smart thing to be able to do. Why can't we just do that? Either way, I like having stuff like that for the lighting around the base. Sorry, guys. It's late when I'm recording this. How are we doing over here? Good grief, that's still go. Okay, intake rate has gone down finally. Good. Good, good, good. Hey, there we go. Give. Thank you. You know, I haven't actually gotten to do anything this whole episode as far as anything exciting. I don't think I've done anything other than search for loot. You know? It's like I would like to have some form of excitement for you guys. Even if it's just a handful of puppets. You know, well, it's not the screwdriver I was hoping for, but it'll suffice. I mean, technically, as long as you just keep finding all the little screwdrivers, then hell with it. You don't need the yellow screwdrivers. It's just much nicer to have the yellow one. Ooh, extreme helmet. You know what? I am gonna take the cleaver because I'm debating about swapping away from the katana because the katana it degrades so quickly that I'm kind of hesitant to use it a lot of the time. You know, so I kind of we'll take that. I kind of want to try other stuff. And for a while, I had tried the excuse me, like the military tomahawk, and it does not have much range at all. It does not do nearly as much damage as I was hoping for. You know, the survival knife, same thing, just does not do a heck of a lot. And so, I don't know. I want to try something different, and I know that the cleaver is very effective. But not only is it effective, it doesn't take up much space. I don't remember if we have a carbon hunter currently, but if we do, we now have a magazine for it. Oh, did I search all of these? Yep. Nope. Thought I did, but I did not. Okay. Oh, an SF-19. And one in almost perfect condition, too. Quite possibly the best pistol in the game right there. It, 20 rounds total if you do the full 19 round magazine plus one in the chamber. I mean, I'm using the compact version, the HS9. But I'm really debating, now that we found one of these in good condition, I'm really debating about switching to that. I don't know if we have magazines for it, though. Yeah, we got room. Barely. We got ammo for it, but I don't know if we have the magazines. So, we'll have to find that out. If not, I mean, magazines are not expensive. We got too much crap in the truck right now, so I'm going to have to make a run to the trader soon anyway. What's the closest trader? I mean, here's the thing. If we're moving to down here, which I think is what we're going to do. I think that's where we're going to move into. Then realistically, I should just pop over to this trader here. You know, so I think maybe I'll do that after this episode. Just go hit the trader. And then next time we'll be probably at the base. Maybe kind of sorting out a layout or something. Maybe even just kind of milling around the base. Just doing base stuff, you know. I know, what's base stuff? You know, just doing stuff around the base. Maybe doing a little fishing. Maybe try our hand at cooking now that we got some cookbooks. Maybe work on some layout designs, and I can get your guys' opinions on some of that stuff, etc., etc. Just kind of, you know, basic stuff. No, do not drive in first person in this game. It is horrendous. Yay, the plane's still parked over here. Ha 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 ha. Okay, well, we'll check these out. We've got like a mechanic's garage over here and a couple of Quonset buildings. And then that's about it. And if we still haven't had any action by that time, if there's nobody in any of these buildings, then we may zip on down that away and just waste some bullets on those puppets. Just, you know, have a little fun. That's not what I wanted. I want this one. Yeah, I mean, we got, what, two? Woo, two of them. Just out of curiosity, what kind of distance are they at? 418. I'm not 100% sure if that's accurate. 950. Okay, that's definitely not accurate. Let's go there. 210 or 201. Damn it. You know what? Here, can we get like there? Okay, that seems a little more accurate, maybe. Well, I don't know. They could be 400 meters away. What kind of wind? 530. Jesus. Let's try 4. Oh, great. You got overcast now. Now, this 6 times magnification is not enough here, is it? Miss. Let's see. Wind south. Mid, okay. Da, 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 da. Let's try 7. Oh, this can only go up to 400 meters. Okay. Lovely. I wish I knew where the heck we were hitting. Oh, we're... Okay, I way overcorrected. Maybe we need to go this way. I'm trying to see where it's hitting based on the ground here. Okay, I don't think we're going to have any luck at all hitting from this kind of distance. How many bullets did we waste there? Plenty. Okay, well, hopefully we find something else. Hello? You know, I hate to say it, but I kind of miss the pre-1.0 encounter manager sometimes. I had it worked out really well there. My puppet numbers were fantastic. The spread on them was good. I mean, this whole area would just be teeming with puppets. You know, there'd be dozens upon dozens of puppets all over the place here. And now it's hit or miss. You'll get like a giant cluster of them in one location, and then there's none elsewhere. And there's none in any of these buildings. What the hell? This is extremely disappointing. Whoop. Oh, starting to rain. Whoops, sorry about that. Hand slipped off my mouse, and the mouse decided to run away. Ooh, more gunpowder. Yes, I need to get into the ammunition crafting. So once we actually get our base set up, and one of the first things that we're going to build is the... Ooh, yes, please. Is the workbench. And that way we can get on to crafting some ammunition. The biggest issue that I'm coming across with ammunition is lead plates. As far as I know, you can't buy lead plates. And it would kind of defeat the purpose unless the lead plates are cheap. But, you know, we're finding plenty of gunpowder. Ooh, hey, those sell pretty well. But lead plates are the issue. You know, that's the main reason why I pick up car batteries, is because you can get the lead plates out of the car batteries. How much room? Oh, we still got oodles of room in the backpack. Beautiful. Man, it started raining pretty good, huh? Mm-hmm. Really? Man. You know, the first part of the airfield here was pretty good. You know, the last episode that we did, that was pretty good. Decent number of puppets. Had a good time. This time, I mean, we haven't seen any puppets at all other than the ones way down at the other end. Which, I mean, hey, that it's nice. Ooh. It's nice from the standpoint of it's easy, you know, and it's just kind of relaxing because you're just going around looting. But this, you know, this location is usually very active. And so it seems a little odd when it's not. Really don't need the motorbike battery. You know, one of the reasons that I like coming to this location is because it's active. So it's fun. You know, there's always some excitement to be had. Except for this time. Because, of course, why would there be any excitement when I'm trying to record a video? You know, it's like, yeah, record a video, be entertaining for... Ooh, hang about. Be entertaining for people. Nah. You don't need to be entertaining. Don't need any kind of excitement. People don't crave that. They just like watching you run around and search boxes and ramble about stuff. That's what the people really want. Ramble, 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 ramble. Actually, for what it's worth, that is what a lot of you guys seem to want on my channel anyway. You watch the videos not so much necessarily because they're exciting, but because they're kind of relaxing. It's just a kind of chill session where you're not looking at somebody that's trying to, you know, just go full speed ahead. You know, you got somebody that's just kind of doing things casually, having a good time. And just sitting here and talking to you. Ooh, Trainer's Act. You know what? We might give that one a try. I don't know if that might be any more effective. Hey, oh, we don't have a toolbox on us. Drat. I'm going to say if we had a toolbox, we could go ahead and repair that here. But we don't. I mean, we have some in the truck, but not on us. If they're just loose at this point, I don't care. Good Lord, we're already thirsty again. That increased metabolism is definitely doing a number on, Baron Brown. Sure, why not? On our water supply, isn't it? Okay, let's see. We still got the garages over there to check. Oh, the rain sounds so nice. I love the sound of the rain on the cars. Hey. Now, we should find some toolboxes in here, I would imagine. Car repair kit. We don't really need those, I don't think. I mean, maybe we do. I don't remember. Ooh, we'll take that. Small screwdrivers are always appreciated. I would still much prefer the yellow screwdrivers. I know I've asked this before, but we've had some new folks join the channel since then. It's been a little bit since I've asked. What is your all's opinion on me swapping, the red screwdrivers for a yellow screwdriver? So, you've got however many small screwdrivers, and I just drop all of those and spawn in a yellow screwdriver. What's your guys' opinion on that? It's not just spawning in a yellow screwdriver. It's dropping all the small screwdrivers that we have once we accumulate a reasonable number of them for a close to equivalent yellow screwdriver. It's just I hate having to carry around a bajillion of these little screwdrivers when for the same amount of space as one of these, I can carry around a 40-use yellow screwdriver. It's a pain in the ass. And the reality is it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. In my opinion. Because again, for lock picking, the way that lock picking actually works, I want that. The way that lockpicking actually works, you wouldn't ever break the screwdrivers. Because the screwdrivers are not really used for a lot of torque. They're pretty much just. I know there's still another one to check, but we have literally no inventory space. But the screwdrivers are used essentially just to keep a small amount of torque on the lock so that as you set the pins in the tumbler there's the truck, with the lock pick, it holds them in place. And so you don't need, you're not ever going to break a screwdriver using it for lockpicking. If you do, it's because you tried to force the lock rather than just lockpicking. And so, I don't know. Just for me, it doesn't make sense to carry around a ton of these small screwdrivers just for the sake of carrying the small screwdrivers, But maybe that's just me. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you'd be okay with me just, swapping the reds for the yellows. And we'll go from there. Because that would absolutely be my preference. But I know a lot of you guys don't necessarily like me just spawning in things. It's like, oh, that's cheating. Well, in that kind of scenario, I don't know that I would really classify it as cheating. Because you're not just spawning in something, you're swapping something. At least that's the way that I look at it. You're essentially correcting a thing that the developers parachute. You're correcting a thing in the game that the hey, there we go. That the developers kind of screwed up on, in my opinion. But again, that is my personal opinion. You guys may feel completely differently. So I like asking you guys for input on stuff like that. Because you guys are the ones that watch the videos. So I want to make sure that we're doing things in a way that you guys enjoy doing. And yeah, occasionally I'm going to just do things the way that I want to do it because it makes things easier for me. You know what? We're gonna just chill in here. Especially like if there's a glitch in the game, like when my bike disappeared, you know. Um, but on stuff like the screwdrivers, that's kind of a uh, I don't know, it's more of a convenience thing than, hey, the game bugged out and I need to fix something. It's really more just this aspect of the game doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, so I'm gonna fix it to the best of my ability to where it does make sense to me, you know. But anyway, let me know what you guys think on that. Anywho, with that being said, I think we're going to call it good for this episode. I do apologize that it was incredibly boring and you guys just had to sit here and listen to me ramble the whole time. Um, but we got all of this place taken care of. We did see a couple of puppets, but they're way the hell over there. And I'm not going out there in the rain right now just to go shoot a couple of puppets. Um, Honestly, with this kind of weather, I would just hunker down right in here for a while. Um, maybe, but I don't know if I've got enough stuff to build a fire, but just hang out in here and, you know, if I can build a fire, then do that to dry my clothes out, stuff like that. But anywho, um, yeah, let me know what you guys think of the screwdriver thing, and again, what kind of gameplay you guys would like to see. Um, and also for next time, if there's any kind of particular stuff you'd like us to do around the base, let me know. If you guys want to see some fishing and cooking and stuff like that, great, we can work on that. If you guys, if you think we should maybe, work on getting a garden planted or, set up a workshop or whatever, um, or start work on a perimeter wall, something like that, just let me know. Because I want the videos to be entertaining for you guys, because there's a lot of stuff that I can just do in the background off camera if you guys don't want to see it. But if you guys would like to see it, the more day-to-day stuff like fishing, gardening, cooking, that kind of thing, I'm happy to show that because I enjoy that kind of stuff, and so maybe you guys enjoy watching it. But anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I do apologize for it being uneventful, but I hope you guys still enjoyed the rambling anyway. And if you did, I'd greatly appreciate you hitting that like button. It really helps the channel. And if you have not done so already, if you would be so kind as to subscribe, that would be just fantastic. It's free. It's a simple click for you guys, but it really helps me to grow on YouTube, and it gives me a lot of encouragement to keep doing what I'm doing. So with all that being said, then I'm going to go ahead and plug the links in the description. We've got St. Jude Children's Hospital and Wounded Warrior Project, both linked down there. So if you would like to support either of those charities, please go check out those links. Then we have my Discord server, as well as the Discord server for the Wolfpack multiplayer SCUM server. That is the multiplayer server that I play on for the live streams. It is a PvE server. We have player to player damage turned off, as well as player locks cannot be picked. So you don't have to worry about toxic players just shooting you or robbing you or anything like that. It's just a nice chill server, and it's a really good place to hang out, or if you like to meet some folks in a non-toxic environment, possibly join a squad, or if you're new to Scum and you're just looking for help getting started, learning the ropes, something like that, it's a great server for that. So if it sounds like something you'd like to check out, uh, check that Discord link. Make sure you read the server rules page. And if it sounds like something you're interested in trying, get in touch with one of the admins. They're listed in that server rules page, and somebody can get you set up with the password. And then we've got my wife's YouTube channel, where she does a variety of content, including ambient rain videos that stuff like this would be perfect for, comedy videos, paranormal videos, where she posts informational content about various haunted locations, as well as some evidence that we have captured on our investigations because we are amateur paranormal investigators. And then we do family live streams over there where we play multiplayer games like Phasmophobia. So if any of that content sounds interesting to you, please go check out her channel. And other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you guys in the next one.